we can begin the game just by moving the knights first. And the reason why we don't have to worry about moving the pawn first to move the knight, because the knight jumps. So let's say if you're just going to start the game and white moves first, so is my move, and so if you go there, let's see how it works. So I'm going to count, so 1, 2, 3, and I have a choice of moving on my left or moving on my right. So I decided to move on my right. So I went from there at the landing square. Remember, I started from a dark square and landed on a light colored square, a white square. Okay, and so the opponent, okay, let's say he wants to move this knight because his opponent's turn. So he or she can do the same count, 1, 2, 3. He can move on the opponent's right side or the opponent's left side, and the opponent decides to move on his or her left side. So effectively it goes like this and lands there. There you are. So now it's a white's turn, right? So what happens is the white now decides to move this knight. Okay, it can move the pawns if he wants to. Okay, so you can move the pawn so that it gives room for the bishop or the rook to move, but it just wants to play with the knight first. Okay, so here it is. I'm going to move over there. 1, 2, 3. Decide to go there, and here we go. 1, 2, 3. He decides to go there, copying this, say, similar move. Okay, there you are. So there it is. And then next turn, obviously, well, a knight can go backwards again, go back to his position. I showed you. Okay, from the knight is over there. For some reason, I may decide to go back. So I'll see whether actually I can count it. So now I'm going to count it. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I can't go on my right because there's no squares to go to, but I can go back to the square, landing square, which is empty. So from there I can return back to its original position. You see, I can do that. Nothing stopped me from doing it. I can actually do that. Okay, and let's say, for instance, now I want to bring the bishop out. This pawn goes there. Okay, and then I might decide that I want to move this pawn. I want to move 1 square, 2 squares, move 2 squares. Okay, and now let's say the black wants to move the bishop over there diagonally. Okay, on the same colored square, moves there. Okay, now what actually happens is, now I'm going to look at this and say, right, so I'm going to count 1, 2, 3. I can't go this way, but I can certainly go this way. Okay, so I'm going to this way. So I'm going to land there. So if you remember, the very first time when it started out, the knight started out over there, and then maybe I realized I made a mistake, and the only way for me to go back there, there are other ways, of course. I went 1, 2, 3, I went over there, and then afterwards I said 1, 2, 3, I went over there, so I ended up in there. Okay, I could have gone this way. So I could have gone 1, 2, 3, gone up there, and then future moves later, I would have done this. 1, 2, 3, I could have gone there. So from there I could have gone there, but I decided to go this way, and then from here I would go there. Okay, so that's how the knight actually moves. And of course, I said, in the landing square, if the knight has its own colored piece, okay, then he can't actually land on that particular square. Okay, but if in the landing square okay, if he finds the opponent's space, okay, then he can actually land on the square, but by landing the square, it captures or cuts or takes a piece. Okay, whichever is the piece is actually on that particular landing square. Okay, and that's how actually knight moves. Okay, so let me put that back in again. Like that. So that seems fairly straightforward to me. So that's the important bit. So as you can see, that's how it is. Okay. Now let's have a quick game in here. Just a quick few moves. Okay. Let's say I decide to move this knight. No, the white moves first, obviously. So let's say I decide to move that. 1, 2, 3. I moved it over there. Okay, and then what actually happens is, let's say black moves a pawn up there. Okay, and then I decide to move this pawn to meet the other pawn. 1, 2, 3. Well, so one square or two squares. Yeah, two squares. And we decide to move two squares. Okay, and now what actually happens is, perhaps the bishop this is on a dark colored square, so this bishop will always travel on this dark colored square, so it travels diagonally and comes up there. Okay, now what actually happens is, here it is, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, okay, straight line, and then go sideways, one square. Okay, now that's interesting. Okay, now what actually happens is, let's say the bishop goes one more square this turn. Okay, and then I decide to do something like that. For instance, I want to support this pawn, so I just so I'm going to move this one square, and now this bishop says, yeah, I want to go to this diagonal square. Okay, but I got a pawn piece in the way, so I'm going to go there, and if I go there, I'm going to cut it and take it and capture it. Okay, now it's white's turn. White has a choice of either taking the bishop. Remember, this pawn here, it has a diagonally got an opponent's piece, so you can actually take that. Okay, or it looks as if this knight here says, let's see whether I can go onto the landing square. 1, 2, 3. I can't go there because there's a bishop there, but I do want to go there because on that landing square I got the opponent's piece. I'm going to land there, and by landing there I'm going to cut, take, or capture the piece. There you are. So there you are. So I think that's a quick illustration of it, and I think I'll kind of stop over there in terms of knight moves. Okay, so let me put this back in again. Okay, just do that quickly, and that's really it. So hopefully this template has actually explained things a bit more clearer, and I might actually use it in teaching the beginners when I go back to Northolt Chess Club at the Northolt Leisure Centre Library. Okay, right, thank you. Alright, and until the next lesson, goodbye. Oops.